So yeah, what do you make of the Pardew appointment?
Well, when I first heard that he'd been made the manager, you know, I wasn't 100% sort of shocked by it, because his name had been mentioned before. He'd been in the frame. If you go back about 2 or 3 months ago, the bookies sort of suspended betting on Chris Hughton being the next manager to be sacked, and Alan Pardew's name was in the frame at that point. So I wasn't 100% shocked, but I knew straight away that the fans would have preferred somebody else. So whether it was the fans' choice or not was always going to be a big question.
Was it ever a possibility getting somebody like O'Neill in, really, given the situation?
I've heard Martin O'Neill's mentioned this season a few times, and I just never saw it as feasible, because he walked out of Aston Villa amidst controversial circumstances. He is known to be hot-headed, and he is sort of well known to want his own way, and I don't think that would have been compatible with the current board, because I think Alan Pardew's done really well to get a 5-year contract, and the chance to maybe spend a bit of money in January and bring in his own backroom team. He's done very well for himself from that point of view, and I think by the same token, though, the board would have put down their objectives, and he'd have been happy enough with that. He is one of the lowest paid managers in the Premier League. Would Martin O'Neill have wanted to be one of the lowest paid in the Premier League managers? I don't think so.
That's going to be one of their priorities, presumably, the cost rather than anything else.
And in a way, I think that's a good thing, because I'd hate to see a great football club like Newcastle United just going to meltdown like Portsmouth has. West Ham are in massive financial trouble. So while we'd all love to see an open chequebook and big Hollywood signings coming in, I think you've got to be realistic as well. And if Newcastle United can stay afloat during this tough economic time in football, then I think that can only be a good thing.
I mean, looking at it positively, because they wanted somebody with a bit more experience than Hughton, what can Pardew perhaps bring to the table and that will help Newcastle move on?
We know he's experienced, and I think if you look at his record at West Ham before he went the journey, it was quite good. I think he got them out of the Championship, and there was some top 10 finishes in there. They were a kick away from winning the FA Cup, if you remember. Steven Gerrard last minute goal, which saved them. So I think credentials, he's got some credentials, but is he the complete article? Is he completely proven? Perhaps not, but he's certainly got the chance to do that at Newcastle United now.